Do you think this is an attempt to try and discredit you and your party?
No, I think this is an attempt to cover themselves up. People even within the Congress may later blame the leadership for not having resolved the problem which led to the crisis. So they are trying to create their own defense within their own party and to the people as a whole who are concerned about the rise in price of diesel and this cap on cylinders, LPG cylinders, as also introduction of FDI in multi-brand retail. So they are trying to offer this as an excuse or explanation to the people at large as well as to members of their own party.
But sir, these issues, the three main issues that you have outlined, these are issues that can be taken care of at the level of the states. The individual states cannot implement FDI if they don't think that it's the right thing to do. They can increase the cap on LPG cylinders as well, and they can also cut down on local taxes and bring down the overall retail price of diesel for consumers in their state. Do you think that the Congress is, in a sense, at least to some level, justified in saying that the states are standing firm, are being obstinate in not giving in a little and helping out the consumers? How do you face that charge?
No, that charge is totally false because, as you know, the financial conditions of all states are precarious. As Mamata Banerjee explained in a press conference yesterday, that of the total revenue collected by the center, only 32% is distributed among the states, and West Bengal gets 2.5% of the total revenues. So how do you expect the states with such meager resources to take steps to reduce the prices? And as far as FDI in retail is concerned, the argument by the Congress leadership or those in the government is absolutely fallacious. It cannot happen that you introduce FDI in one state and you prevent FDI introduction in other states, because somebody will go to the court and say that this is discrimination. Somebody may even complain to the WTO that this is in violation of the WTO agreement, which says that country to country agreement should be there. There is no separate scope for the states in this matter. After all, FDI and all this foreign business is controlled by the WTO agreement, controlled or guided by the WTO agreement. So what the government is saying is in violation of the WTO agreement. This cannot happen.
Mr. Roy, it's interesting that you should bring up the precarious financial situation of states which does not allow them to give these concessions on issues like FDI and the LPG cylinder cap as well as diesel. But now if you go ahead and withdraw all your ministers, if they put in the resignation papers, they come out of the government, your party ceases to be a part of the government, don't you think that in the larger picture it is your state and its finances that are going to suffer? Because what happens to the bailout package that your state has been seeking from the center?
We were with the UPA totally for 14, almost 16 months now. We have not got a moratorium on interest payments which we had demanded. So if you talk, I am told that the Indian finance minister called a meeting only on 17th or 18th, which our state's finance minister refused to attend. You can't take us to the edge of the precipice, and they said that we are coming to rescue you. So 16 months, nothing has happened. Earlier, Pranab Mukherjee ji was the finance minister. Mr. Chidambaram has also been finance minister for 2-3 months now. So nothing happened. So why talk of the bailout package now?
Is that also one of the factors for your anger? Is that also why Mamata Banerjee is angry that she's been seeking this moratorium for 16 months and no positive response has come from the center?
Mamata Banerjee is aggrieved. I would not use the word angry. She is aggrieved. She has natural grievance that the debt left by the last left-front government, which ruled for 34 years, the interest on that has come on her shoulders. She is aggrieved that the center has not realized this situation.